The Wrong Side of History. Dear MP, events in the Middle East are hotting up again, this time to an endgame. BRICS countries will be involved, while the Anglo-Saxon Bretton Woods foundations are on shaking fiat dollar feet. UK, France, Germany, and the US all support Israel's right to defend itself. Do Palestinians have the right to defend themselves after 75 years of genocide? Did Russia have the right to defend itself against NATO intervention? 14,000 Russians were murdered by Azovists from 2014 to 2022 in a drive to ethnically expel them. This is a war crime. Serbs against Uçaka terrorists and NATO? UK fought alongside those same terrorists. What about Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria? The list is endless. The hypocrisy of the West is phenomenal and has undermined any sense of democracy, justice, or fairness, or even economic might we may have had in the past. Our future actions. The ICC, International Criminal Court, has been exposed as a total tool of Zionism. Europe as a centre of power is already over. Following Washington's footsteps, it is becoming increasingly a colonizer irrelevance with many angry and poor people living in many countries. Hypocrites gleefully banned Russian hydrocarbons, stole their assets, even appropriating Chelsea Football Club, claiming every purchase was killing Ukrainians. Yet every burger from McDonald's, Burger King, or sugar-soaked Pepsi or Coca-Cola goes to buy bullets to murder Palestinians. But they still say Israel has the right. Where are those hypocrites now, eating their own words? The ZioFascists or ZFs in Israel want to form a ring while they eradicate 2 million Palestinians in Gaza, the largest open-air prison in the world, and a shameful stain for the West. Actually, as Professor Norman Finkelstein said, it is not a prison camp, since the people are not guilty of anything, rather a death camp. Does your heart not bleed for the 2,000 or more children now murdered by IDF since October the 7th? And the count is rising daily. Israel's policy is to mow the grass, which means to eradicate all Palestinians. These are words of hate. Look at the hundreds of thousands of dead, injured or expelled since 2008. Israel wants a two-state solution with only Jews from Brooklyn. Israel is a vile colonizer and Palestinians are the colonized. UK gifted the land to genocidal ZFs at the expense of many hundreds of thousands of dead, injured, or expelled Arabs. This is so tragic, a blemish on the West, something they will not acknowledge, something indeed they will not get over. US and UK have not been serious in Israel diplomacy, vetoing or abstaining all UN resolutions. There is no intent in ZF America to find a solution, which includes Palestinians. There never was one. They were just leading us on for the media and for the voters at home. It is clear that the state of Israel must be dismantled for peace, and ZFs will always have the intent to create a pure Jewish state at the expense of Palestinians. UK cannot hold back the tide of rage. Only a few respectful and clear voices like Finkelstein, Chomsky and Rabbi Weiss, amongst many others, tell us that it is not anti-Semitic to not be a Zionist supporter. I want you to put forward a 10-point debate agenda in Parliament for a sustainable peace. Number 1, proscribe Zionism as a terrorist enterprise. Number 2, ban any support of Zionism. Number 3, stop any arms exports to Israel. Number 4, implement economic sanctions. Number 5, enable UN peacekeeper boots on the ground. Number 6, return of the land to Palestinians, at least to the 1967 border. Number 7, enable WMD inspectors to perform their work unhindered. Number 8, restitution to be paid to Palestinians for losses since 1948. Number 9, support the formation of an ICC tribunal to prosecute war criminals. Number 10, remove security threats by banning or expelling dual nationals with military training and significant links to the Israeli state. Recall how Tony Blair used WMDs as a fake reason to annihilate Iraq? We should do the same to Israel. It has threatened to use nuclear weapons to destroy Lebanon and Iran, its neighbours. UK should react to these credible threats and justify world punitive action. Israel is a terror state, both by its actions and its founding. Zionism is a fascist enterprise, supported by the UK government, zealously so. The aim is to make a pure Jewish homeland, no Christians, no Muslims. They hate Christians too. Look at the 1600-year-old Orthodox St. Porphyry Church, targeted by IDF. Israel is a land for all three Abrahamic religions, not just for Jews. I cannot emigrate there since I am Goy, non-Jewish. Their ZF is an exclusive and racist ideology. The only democratic country in the world which does not embrace diversity is Israel, yet Zionists force it on the UK and many others. Why treat Israel with kid gloves or special conditions? UK from Balfour to Priti Patel and Blair has always pushed the cause for ZF. Recall how Priti Patel was caught red-handed doing deals with our taxpayer money handed over to Israel? Some of your House colleagues have no dignity or integrity. Our taxes are used without our knowledge to fund ZF activities. Every ZF rocket, bomb or bullet is financed by the UK. This is shameful and must stop immediately. We have 20 million poor people in the UK, 2 million visiting food banks, and cannot afford to pay teachers, doctors or nurses fairly, yet we can supply billions to the IDF. This is insanity and shows how much of a bought country we are, not a democracy. Zionists have undue control over our parliamentarians. This is a serious security threat. Indeed, the amount of dual national British Jews with military service now fighting against Palestinians is a very real security threat for us. They should be arrested and detained, then expelled. Hamas itself is not a terror organization, but a resistance movement. They have no army, no navy, even no food, electricity or fuel. But their struggle screams with the deafening sound of raging lions. UK has historically picked the wrong sides, like siding with Ottomans in Europe, or supporting apartheid in South Africa, or supporting Nazi Azovists in Ukraine or Uchaka Albanian terrorists. Now the genocidal Israeli state. Ask yourself what strategic benefit it is to the UK for Israel to be committing sustained genocide against Palestinians and bombing Iran, Syria, Lebanon, using our weapons and hiding behind our diplomacy and protection. Is it not better for us to be at peace with all the Arab neighbours and to force Israel to follow international rules? UK has just allowed ZF-US to falsify, believing a greater Israel will benefit them. Really? There is more truth from an Adam Sandler movie. There is a constant threat of ZioFascists to crash our economies. Then so be it. They will put all their cards on the table, and it will lead to new expulsions of Zio-fascist Jews from Western countries. Indeed, so be it. Good riddance. There will be further pogroms on a massive scale. And where will they go now? Is your allegiance to the genocidal Zio-fascist state while your own people starve and live in squalor? Or is it to the hard-working British people, the nurses, the train drivers, the teachers, the doctors, the delivery drivers, the carers, whose tax has been siphoned off to send weapons to Israeli Jews to bomb Palestinian civilians? So, have you yourself been bought for a few shekelim? Or what side of history will you land on, the right or the wrong? The one which genocides a people as the world watches, or the one which brings justice to the genociders? Kind regards, a very concerned UK citizen.